Another big crowd, another beautiful evening in Southern California. The Rockies game 2 of this 3-game set, this most important 3-game set against Los Angeles as the Dodgers seesawed in front of the Rockies last night. They had a convincing 8-2 victory, and they really put the game to bed very early last night against John Gray. So it's Clayton Kershaw, it's Kyle Freeland. The Rockies will begin, as they always do, with Charlie Blackmon up top, riding a 10-game hitting streak, which is the longest such streak in all of Major League Baseball. And Charlie's had some moments against Kershaw. He's batting .294 in his career against him. In fact, when you look up and down the Rockies lineup, even in the absence of Trevor Story tonight, the Rockies have a bunch of guys that have had a fair amount of success against Kershaw. And this is in the air to Chris Taylor in left. 1 out. Here's the Southwest batting order tonight for Buddy Black. Had to reconfigure some things again without a guy who's a mainstay in the middle of the order. DJ Nolan, 1, 2, 3. You'd expect that. Matt Holliday will slide up. He'll bat cleanup. Not a foreign spot for him, obviously. Ian Desmond will bat next, and Gerardo Parr with good numbers left on left against Kershaw in his career. Ionetta will catch tonight, and there's the kid, Garrett Hampson, who will bat 8th and play shortstop. Of the great wheels. DJ takes a strike.
Well, you mentioned Clayton Kershaw. He always has glowing things to say about the Rockies and the offense and how it's a tough night for him whenever he has to face them, and some of the numbers against it bear out.
DJ, hard ground ball, but it's right at Manny Machado, and that's the second out. Now, the season numbers for Kershaw, I don't even look in the win column anymore with Major League pitchers because most of them don't go long enough to earn victories like they used to. He's 8-5, but the ERA is what you'd expect. It's in the mid-2s.
And last year he led the National League in ERA for the 5th time. So that's not surprising from Clayton Kershaw. What is surprising, though, this year is the slider percentage. It's more than the fastball percentage. And you can see on the fastball just 91 miles an hour, and that might be giving him a couple miles an hour there.
That was ripped foul by Arenado.
I think those people are happy that that netting was over there.
They want the foul ball, but they don't want the broken face.
That was a shot into that netting.
Nolan owns 3 career home runs and a .308 batting average against Kershaw, and it's 0-2. Well, we can talk all we want about the game getting away from John Gray early last night, but one thing that has not transpired that absolutely needs to going forward on this road trip is the Rockies' offense. They had 2 runs late last night, turned out to be naturally inconsequential ones, and they had 3 runs in the series in San Francisco. Fortunately, that was enough to salvage a victory on Sunday, but the offense has been basically non-existent since scoring 63 runs in 10 home ball games. Needs to change, and it needs to change in a hurry. 1-2. And this is going to be an easy play for Turner at third. Kershaw works a 8-pitch 1-2-3 first. Kyle Freeland, he'll be up next. Dodgers. Kyle looking for his 16th victory of the year. The all-time record for wins for a Rockies lefty. 17 back in 07. Set by Jeff Francis, of course. And Kyle's numbers glowing, and he has been a rock in that rotation in his sophomore season.
And part of the reason, too, is his first pitch strike percentage is way up this year over last year at 63%. Sliders just as devastating as ever, but what he is doing more this year than he did last year is throwing the fastball inside to right-handers. Last year was a lot of arm side fastballs. This year, not afraid to come in, and that's where, if you're looking at this tonight and you see some weak ground balls, especially since they have all right-handers in their lineup, but ground balls to the left side where they're cutting into the hands, that'll be a good sign.
First pitch swung on and popped up. DJ drop stepping, and it'll be called off by Parra. Ooh,
that was
in
close.
Right field. That's not how you want to catch it, but fortunately Gerardo has great hands. He goes basket catch, one pitch, one out. As we take a look at the Southwest batting order for Dave Roberts tonight. Justin Turner naturally will bat second. You just saw him on your screen. And then, as Huey mentioned, it's all the right-handed guys. Machado, Freese, Matt Kemp, Brian Dozier, TK Hernandez, Austin Barnes, and the only lefty is the pitcher, Kershaw. So if you're Jock Peterson, you hit 2 bombs and a double, and you get to take a seat. That's what he did last night.
Yeah, or Max Muncy, who had a home run, 3 RBIs. Take a seat.
And that pitch that he'd like to be have called strike. He was called ball 1. Home plate umpire is the crew chief Bill Welke. Tony Randazzo at first, Mark Carlson at second. Lance Barrett is at third. And that's in there for a strike, 1-1.
Well, Huey, I agree with you. The fastball inside to the Dodger hitters is going to be imperative for Kyle to be able to get that pitch in, but it's set up by his changeup. If he has command of the changeup, that'll open up the plate.
And a shot on one hop to DJ. And Huey, will you explain to everybody at home how difficult a play that really was?
I'm not sure I could adequately describe that, because it is so difficult. You're dropped to one knee in hopes that you get a better look at it, and you really have to keep your head behind the glove. Just watch where DJ's eyes are in relation to his glove on the Subaru Supermo. If somehow you let that ball travel another 6 inches, you don't see that last hop. And DJ just smothered that like it was no problem.
Yeah, for the 10,000th time, I'll utter something you've heard. He is an incredible defensive player. 2 outs, and here's Machado. And the slider's outside, ball 1. Here's the first bank defensive alignment for the Rockies. Garrett Hampson again, no foreign to playing shortstop. Played there throughout his collegiate career, and a lot of time there as a minor league player. That's inside, 2-0. Plays second. He's a versatile guy. And the #1 thing, especially in big games, Spilly, this is a tough kid. This kid is not intimidated by the circumstances of playing in this series.
If anything, I think he's going to relish in playing here. He grew up and played college baseball just down the street at Long Beach State. There's probably a lot of former coaches and friends from this area that are here.
Vicious slider on the outside corner, 2-2. Yeah, and there's just, even at the highest level of athletics, you guys know this, you played at the highest level. There are guys that handle pressure, and then there are guys sometimes that struggle with it. In the air to center field, well hit. Charlie going back, and he jumps. It's off the top of the wall. And the throw to second, there's nobody there because of the double cut. So Freeland actually made the play, and it's a double by Machado. Give Machado credit. I don't know how he got on top of this fastball, because it may have been out of the strike zone.
A little bit like the Jock Peterson home run last night. I think Machado just watched it and thought it was hit out. Charlie goes crashing into the wall real close here as he leaps on the Subaru Supermo. Boy, that was close from going out. But then good effort from Gerardo Parra to back him up. Get that ball back in.
Always somewhere to go.
That's right.
On a baseball diamond.
Don't get caught watching.
Good job by number 8. 2 outs, Freeze with Machado at second. And that pitch looked like it was in the upper portion of the strike zone. Called a ball, 1-0. Freeze has been outstanding so far, playing against lefties since coming from the Pirates. He slugged over 700 in a Dodger uniform.
He's hit 99 points higher with the Dodgers than he was, actually a little bit higher, over 100 points higher since the trade.
Yeah, another one of those veteran guys. Fastball in, I like it. 94, 2-1. Painted fingernails, Chris Iannetta flashing signs. 3-1. Kemp batting 5th tonight in the Dodger lineup. Kyle this year 1-1 with a 2.79 ERA against Los Angeles. Made his major league debut and threw a gem in front of a sellout opening day crowd last April, not this April, but April of 2017 against LA. That gave you a pretty good idea that this young man was made of the right stuff.
Some things you can't measure on a stopwatch or on a chart.
Well put. 3-1. Three-2, and that kicks away. It'll be a walk, and Machado moves to third. So that'll bring up Kemp first and third.
And then just extend this inning.
Now batting, right field, number 27, Matt.
So Matt Kemp, who had a terrific first half and has had a much less prominent second half, shall we say, will come up.
He's always hurt the Rockies. He's been one of those guys. Good first pitch.
Yep. Looks like he has the good slider, Spilly, from our vantage point.
Looks like he has his good fastball too. Seeing 93, 94. This Dodgers team is just going to make you work.
Slider again. Poke toward right, and it'll drop in front of Parra. And the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. Throwing behind and getting the out is Parra. Desmond applied the tag. What a smart play by Gerardo. Even though it wasn't a huge turn by Kemp, Parra wisely, it was his only play, because Freeze went first to third. We're going to stick around for a moment to see if the Dodgers are going to try to contest this. And they may very well. Yep,
yeah, I think they are going to look at it. That was real close on the Subaru Supermo. Trying to throw behind, and then Kemp had to hesitate for a moment, let that ball go. One more look at first. Freeze it.
You know, I don't know if
Boy,
they
I
overturn
don't know
that.
if they
And
do
again,
either.
You know, we say this all the time.
I mean, can you
A lot
tell
of
where
times
the
it's
heel is?
the call will stand type of thing. And the call was out on the field.
I had a good look over here from field level, and the way the ball was thrown, it forced Matt Kemp to stop. So it was almost like he didn't want to get hit by the throw from Para, which gave that extra little hesitation for Desmond to put that tag on it. And I'm with you guys. I saw it. I was with Tony Randazzo. I thought the call was out. Still, it's an awkward play. Give Tony credit for being as an umpire right on top of it. See what happens.
Out.
That'll end the inning, but the Dodgers do get a run with 2 outs, the double by Machado, and eventually that poke single by Kemp. 1-0 LA going to the second. All right, Jenny, thanks very much. No surprise that Larry is number 2 on the all-time top 25 silver anniversary team. Wonder who number 1 will be. 1-0 on Matt Holliday. I've been saying this since the Rockies arrived in San Francisco. The Rockies need to get something going offensively. They went quietly in the first inning, and then with 2 outs, the Dodgers able to score. Right now, the Dodgers are a very comfortable bunch. They're an experienced bunch, and they believe it is their right to sit atop the National League West. They've won 5 straight divisions, and they handled the Rockies early last night. Dave Roberts, very confident. He said emphatically yesterday prior to the start of the game, we'll win the West.
Till somebody knocks them off. That's the way they're going to feel.
Well, and the only way you change that narrative is to go out and get it done on the field. 1 out. And that'll bring up Ian Desmond.
For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch, and talking about the offense and get him some runs. Get Kyle Freeland some runs, because when they get 3 or more runs of support for Kyle, he's 15-1. I mean, even at just 1 run of support, he's 19-6. So that kind of compounds, folks. But 3 runs, he's money.
Big swing and a miss.
going to be about the top end. You see Clayton Kershaw with his fastball velocity at 90. Back when Spilly faced him, he was 94 to 95, maybe even 96 at times.
But he also didn't have the back foot slider like he does now.
So he's had the good curveball.
Big slow curveball got Ian Desmond.
2 outs, and that'll bring up Parra. Here's the first bank look at the Dodgers defensively. Outfield of Taylor, Kike Hernandez, and Matt Kemp. Kemp, when he first came up, was a center fielder and a pretty good one, and then the legs kind of gave way. We've seen him in left field. Now he's over in right field tonight, where Yasiel Puig normally plays. Now Puig, you're saying Rockies are throwing a left-hander. How come Puig's not in there? He kind of has reverse splits. You see Dozier, Gold Glover last year. He's at second. This ball's pretty well hit to left field, and getting over, making the catch is Taylor. So the Rockies again go in order and quickly. 1-0 LA. TNT Sportsnet is brought to you by the 2018 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores. By Jack in the Box, try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls, only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. Dodgers up 1-0. Kyle Freeland will face Brian Dozier here. Dozier batting in the 6th spot in the LA lineup. And that's a high fly ball to Charlie Blackmon in center. You can see the game plan for LA. Though they walk a lot, fellas, they're being very aggressive first pitch.
Attack early. Nice up from Chris Taylor to start off the game, because they know Kyle's going to be around the plate. They don't want to get into a slider count. Get behind, that's when that slider shows up, and it wouldn't be good for their offense. Good for the Rockies.
Kike Hernandez at the knees, strike one. One ball, one strike. Kike just 3 for 13 in his matchups with Freeland. Good pitch. Wow.
How about just being a strike? I thought it was a strike. Right out of the hand. They'll turned it over. Change up. Looked like he got the corner, but not according to Bill Welke. There's that third pitch on the Subaru strike zone.
Yeah, all good pitchers, hope for the benefit of calls on the edge of the strike zone. Here's the 3-1, and that's another walk. That's the second for Kyle. That'll bring up Austin Barnes. Kyle brings a 2.96 ERA into the ballpark tonight. That is within just 8 percentage points of Ubaldo Jimenez, 0.08 of a point of what Ubaldo did back in 2010, the lowest ERA in franchise history for a starting pitcher at 2.88. Again, it underscores what a tremendous season Kyle's had. And this will not even be his penultimate start of the year. The way the Rockies potentially can work it is Kyle will get a couple of more starts.
We'll have the one tonight, then he'll get the start on Sunday down in Arizona. And then it'll be Friday night at home against Washington.
And then on the weekend, there'll be all hands on deck, depending on where the Rockies are. And
because then his bullpen session would come a couple days later. So that's where you're saying that if it comes down to game 162 and you're fighting, everybody's going to be available.
Barnes fouls it off, 1-1. Light hitting catcher for LA. You can draw a lot of similarities, guys, between Austin Barnes and Tony Walters. Somewhat similar body types.
Yeah, good athletes can play different positions too.
Both can go play in the middle infield. Out of play.
Kyle's looking to extend the lead for most grounded into double plays in the National League. And 23 right now. Could take another one right here and have Kershaw leading off next inning.
Snap throw.
They would have had him.
Yeah, the ball didn't pop loose. I think you're right.
That was a good snap throw across from Kyle. Step off.
Would have been real close.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to shorten up the lead for Kike, and I think Kike got hit on the side by the baseball, so he's a little.
Parra and right. Routine play for the second out. That'll bring up Kershaw.
Number 22, Clayton Kershaw.
Kershaw 10 hits on the year. He's 10 for 42.
Strike one on Kershaw. He's among the leading hitting pitchers in the National League this year. Of course, Herman leads everybody at 304. Kershaw, the 7th pick overall in the 2006 draft. And a ground ball to Hampson. Desmond moves up the line, makes the catch, and tags him out. There was a walk to Hernandez, nothing else across. We'll go to the 3rd. Iannetta will lead off. The Rockies trailing by a run. Randy Johnson very well in his career, just under 400. Dodgers up 1-0. Chris Iannetta, Garrett Hampson, and Kyle Freeland against Clayton Kershaw. So Kershaw in his career has allowed the opposition to hit a whopping 206. The Rockies lineup tonight, Blackman's hit 294 against him. In fact, he's hit over 400 against him, or right about 400 the last few years. DJ LeMahieu, career-wise, 298. Nolan, 308. Matt Holliday, 256. Desmond's the only guy who's struggled in the lineup, 6 for 40 or 150 average coming in. Parr has hit 342 coming in against him. And the guy who's going to lead off in the inning, Chris Iannetta, 296. So these guys have all faced Kershaw quite a bit and have all had a modicum of success, certainly way above what he's done against most other people.
Well, career against Clayton Kershaw, you were talking about the 206 batting average. Right-handers 210, left-handers 195. So some of the numbers you were talking about and alluding to, Drew, I mean, just way above what he has given up. I mean, at home, too, a batting average below 200. Out on the road, not much higher, 215. I mean, all the numbers for Clayton Kershaw just speak superstar, Hall of Fame type numbers.
Well, Chris Iannetta is getting the start tonight. Chris this year has had good numbers against LA, 295 average. And a line shot at Machado, 1 out. Now this right here will give you an indication of just how terrific he's been in his career. He has, in the live ball era, the lowest career earned run average, 237. Uncle baller Hoyt Wilhelm, 252. The Yankee lefty Whitey Ford, 275, and the former Dodger all-timer Sandy Koufax, 276.
And that's over 2,000 innings.
Hampson takes a strike. I think at some point tonight the bunt may be in play for Garrett Hampson.
I was thinking it might even happen here. Maybe not with one strike now, but I was right there with you, Drew.
Well, Corey Sullivan loves the 1-1 bunt. He thinks it's a perfect time because you catch the defense off guard. It's also the swing pitch.
Well, to your point, I'm watching Turner. He was even with the bag, and now he's retreating about 4 or 5 steps. Not going to get it now. 1-2. Hampson has never faced Kershaw. Up and down 3 times this year. Talked to him in the clubhouse today, and you can tell when somebody's got more than average butterflies. He didn't. 2-2.
Good eye on that Subaru strike zone just below the knees.
The reason why is somebody has been telling him he can't because of his size his whole life.
So what's going to intimidate him? Not a whole lot.
I remember the first time I had the opportunity to compete against Greg Maddux, and I'm sure this is something similar. It's probably pretty hard to take me seriously with eye black on, but
are you going with the rally eye black real quick?
This is a must-win game for me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I like
my
it.
eye black's on. Yes.
Okay.
But the point is Hampson's probably seen Clayton Kershaw pitch numerous times. Not saying that Clayton Kershaw is old, but nothing is better than facing somebody like that.
He's got a pretty good at bat going. He works Kershaw full.
Well, that's a good
about
job.
as many pitches as Kershaw took to get the first 7 guys out.
By Bill Wilkie, not just giving the veteran pitcher the strike.
Agreed.
Nice
and
at bat.
He earned a walk. And that looked like a kid who's calm, cool, and collected, not a guy who's got just basically a handful of at-bats at the big league level playing in the biggest game of the year.
Because if he wasn't, he would have swung at one of those 3 pitches.
Folks, when the Rockies score 7 runs in a game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the following day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. First base runner for the Rockies, Freeland at the plate. Kyle happy that he fouled that backwards and out of play.
Probably not going to give the steal sign too much because he's only had one stolen base attempt against Kershaw this year. It still calls for the sacrifice. But he's got that good move where you can't quite tell which way he's going. It looks like it, and Spill, you hit from your angle where he kind of starts to fall home a little bit, but still hard to read.
It's very hard to read because it's always been a slide step, and it's tough for a hitter at home plate because he comes right at you.
He attempted to bunt that. 0-2. Gonna study Stu Cole. I think the bunt would stay on here.
Yeah, it usually does with the pitch. It'll stay on, and it'll just be a wipe off if they want to take it off. They don't keep flashing the bunt sign.
Kyle showing bunt.
Pulls it back.
Well, with
Kyle,
that,
among pitchers, he'd be on a short list of guys that he'd say is probably tough to double up. He runs really well.
I was just saying, after that high fastball, he might get a curveball here. Nope. Back upstairs with the fastball, struck him out.
Second strikeout for Kershaw. That'll bring up Charlie. He had a fly ball to left to begin the evening.
Well, it's the little things, guys, in a series like this, and when the offense has been struggling, you tend to panic, and not panic in the sense that, oh my, things are going out of control, but as a hitter, you try to do too much. You start swinging at things outside of your control or outside of your zone. And if the Rockies want to get the offense going, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. You want to be aggressive, but you also want to be patient. And you're going to have to get those bunts down as well. You have to give yourself opportunities.
Off the plate, ball one. Time for At the Dish, brought to you by the Dish Network. Charlie has a 10-game hitting streak going. Since 2015, he has 13 of those, or 4 more than anybody else in baseball. He had one prior to 2015, so he's got 14 in his career, way outside, 2-0. Charlie hitting .377 in September.
And during that
the only guy hitting, excuse me, Huey, real quick, the only guy hitting higher than him in baseball in the month of September is, or two guys actually, Turner in the National League. In baseball, Mike Trout.
And for Charlie, too, it's not just been a lot of singles. He had the double last night. He's had doubles at home, home run.
Here's the NL leaders. Rockies will see Goldschmidt over the weekend. Hampson at first, 2 outs.
They'll go with the different shift now against Charlie. Turner on the second base side. Take a peek in at the signs. Pick up what Austin Barnes is putting down. Slider.
Hampson goes, and he's going to swipe second.
Well, now that's the second stolen base against Kershaw this year.
That surprised Austin Barnes.
I did. I think he did too, Drew, because he came up like, wait, somebody's going against Clayton, and then he double clutched. Couldn't get the ball out.
It's also one of those running counts where if you get thrown out, it's fine because Charlie Blackmon leads off the inning with 2 strikes.
3-2. Out of play.
But the other thing it does too is it doesn't allow them to put the shift on Charlie like they've been doing.
Opens up the middle of the diamond a little
Yeah,
bit,
it opens the middle up. You could also, we saw the ball that he hit last night that Machado got into that 5-6 hole. So it opens a lot of things up now with Garrett at second.
ball 4. And the Rockies have 2 men on for LeMahieu.
Number 9, DJ LeMahieu.
They need to cash in on one of these because they, on this road trip, runners in scoring position just 3 for 22. That's 136. Think back to that previous series against Arizona where they hit 352 with runners in scoring position.
Well, you got to make an announcement that you're going to compete in this series. Last night was non-competitive.
And against Kershaw. I mean, it almost worth 2 points then.
Outside. Well, the right guy is at the plate.
Well, and he really made Clayton work too. You ahead of Garrett Hampson, and he ends up walking him. Charlie made him work.
Rockies got a couple of runs last night in the 8th inning. DJ drove in 1, Nolan drove in 1 with singles. And this is pulled under the glove of Turner. Here comes Hampson. It'll tie up the game. Then it goes behind Taylor, and everybody moves up 90 feet. So a break for the Rockies on what should have been the final out. And a couple of errors on the same play. One on Turner, one on Taylor.
Well, sometimes you got to catch a break from the other team. And a ground ball, Turner comes charging in, gets scooched right underneath his glove for his 6th error of the season, and then Chris Taylor lets it get by him. Here's Turner first as he comes in on the Subaru Supermo. His glove kind of went into the dirt before that ball came in. He's like, look at what happened.
I felt like he was distracted a bit from Garrett Hampson breathing down his throat.
He could have been thinking, well, maybe if I catch this, I could just tag him.
Nolan takes a strike.
In any event, the Rockies are on the board.
And now you get a 2-out hit. The Rockies can take a 2-run lead.
And for Chris Taylor, that's a byproduct of a ball moving slowly on the outfield grass, and it does what we call a snake.
0-1.
Whenever the ball is traveling slow on well manicured grass like it is here at Dodger Stadium, and the different cuts from the lawnmower going over it, it'll move along the greens just like you do when you see a putt.
And that's where you see the different color in the grass. The
One
grain of
ball,
the grass.
1 ball, 1 strike on Arenado. And Nolan fouls it off.
We'll go back to the errors first by Justin Turner. And I think he was thinking about Garrett Hampson. Garrett cut in front of him, and then the snake on the outfield for Chris Taylor's 12th error of the season.
One, 2 on Nolan. On the ground to third. And Turner will throw out Nolan. Rockies, with some help from the Dodgers, get the equalizer. It's 1-1, middle of 3.
as we go to the bottom of the third. Now Garrett Hampson getting this start in the absence of Trevor Story today. I talked with Garrett about what he views his role is in Trevor's absence.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, I'm not trying to fill anybody's role. You know, I'm not going to try to do what Trevor did or what he's capable of doing. I'm just going to go out and play my game, and I know I can help the team win, you know, the way I know how, so that's what I'm going to do.
Ball goes foul, but I really just love the approach that Garrett Hampson is taking. You know, he said to me, I got drafted and I'm in the big leagues because I'm Garrett Hampson, not because I'm Trevor Story. So like he said, he's just going to go out there and play his game, work for the Rockies as they tie up the game heading into this inning, guys.
Well, he worked out a walk, and it was not a gift walk. He had to spit on some close pitches, fouled a couple pitches off, and then he stole a base, which never happens against Clayton Kershaw. And because of the miscues, it ultimately led to a run.
But it is a hard thing when you have to replace somebody like a Trevor Story. You know, Garrett's saying all the right things, and so far it's good. But you know there's that internal pressure. You know who you're replacing.
But every time you do something positive, you gain an inner strength that, hey, you know what, I do belong and I can play on this stage.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he's done a couple things. You know what, he had a slow roller. Got a little help from Desi at first, but he made the play.
Yeah, he got that first one out of the way.
Yeah, he got that one out of the way. You know that feeling, Huey.
Yeah.
And then he contributed offensively. Got himself on base. 2-2 on Taylor. It's the top of the order in the third for the Dodgers in this 1-1 ball game. Taylor has punched out 166 times this year. That's the most in the National League. Kyle's not a huge strikeout guy. Averages better than 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. Better than last year. Three-two. This is about as long as he'll take between pitches. He wants to gather his thoughts. He knows he can't walk the leadoff man. 3-2.
I think that's part of the reason why the guys like playing behind him too. He's got that mentality that he's aggressive, but he gets the baseball and goes.
Well, he lost him. Taylor draws a walk. That's 3 walks now for the Dodgers. Well, if you missed the top of the broadcast, haven't seen it reported yet, Trevor Story had an MRI today, and last night they felt good about Trevor after checking him out medically, and the MRI confirmed what they thought last night. There is no structural damage. He has some soreness, he has some inflammation in the elbow region. It's not where the UCL is. Again, no structural damage. So Trevor, he's not in uniform tonight. Probably not going to play tomorrow. He'll have a day off Thursday, and then we'll have more news to report to you when the Rockies are down in Phoenix as to when he'll be available again. So the Rockies got great news on that front. Turner at the plate. Fly ball deep left field. Matt Holliday's out there. And he'll make the catch. Tagging up is Taylor. And got out at second base. Matt Holliday breaking out that old big-time football throwing arm. A perfect strike to DJ LeMahieu.
That's 2 outfield assists now for the Rockies. 1 in right field. You expect it with Eduardo Parra. Now you get one from Matt. This is a strong throw. Nice little one-hop to DJ, and he applies the tag. Just like that. 2 down. Oh, got him on the fingertip, on the forearm, everything.
That was huge.
That was right on the money, too.
Well, outfielders you practice this throw, and the throw, you're trying to hit it on the edge of the grass right before you see the dirt. And that gives that perfect skip for infielders to be able to field it and place the tag down. This is something outfielders work on probably 2 to 3 times a week.
First pitch strike right down the middle to Manny Machado.
Thing for DJ too, once you catch that, you just kind of know where the bag is and then just go right to the bag.
On the ground, deep in the hole and on through. Nolan upset with himself. He threw his glove down in the dirt off camera. He thought he should have made that play. Of course, Nolan thinks he should make every play.
Yeah, as long as it's hit in the same area code, he usually makes the play. This ball was hit hard, though. He dives. I think he dove over the top of it. That's what he's upset about.
Third hit for the Dodgers. Machado has 2 of them, and now David Freese with 2 outs. He walked his first time up. Despite the 3 walks, the pitch count is still in a really good place. One more note on Story and how that story was covered. It drives me absolutely bonkers when journalists rush to be first and throw accuracy to the wind. It's a beach ball on the field.
That's a watermelon.
And it's a watermelon, right. And now, because we live in this Twitter universe, people can say, as soon as somebody grabs a knee, they can say, oh, it's a potential ACL injury or patellar tear. Well, I guess, you know, yeah, anytime there's an injury to a knee or an elbow, you can always say, well, it's a potential UCL tear. There has to be greater responsibility.
Now it's all about the clicks.
Again, what happened to being accurate?
You probably won't see any of those people take back the story because the way they put it out there, it was vague, but
well,
it still said UCL.
UCL. I remember at the winter meetings last year, Spilly, you and I were down there in Orlando. You remember the day that it was reported in the morning on Twitter that the Rockies had re-signed Greg Holland to a 3-year, $48 million deal.
And that was news to Jeff Bradich and his front office staff.
Right, and the last time I checked, you know, Greg Holland had a great year for the Rockies last year. Obviously, he did not re-sign with the Rockies, and you know, I have great respect for a lot of our brethren in this business, but journalism, the foundation of journalism is you have to have multiple sources, a couple of them that will corroborate a story. And I can guarantee you there was nothing emanating from the Colorado Rockies organization last night that indicated that there was huge concern that Story had blown out his UCL.
Spilly, you, myself, all ran in to Trevor this morning at Starbucks before he went for his MRI. We had a chance to talk to him then, and this was at 10:30 this morning. And we didn't know anything. He didn't know anything.
But he was very upbeat, and he was very confident that he was okay based on how he felt and the indication he got last night from the medical staff. That's fouled off. Again, the bottom line is his ulnar collateral ligament is intact, and he's going to be in a day-to-day type of situation. How many days that is, we don't know at this time, but it was good news. 2-2 on Freese. Machado a 2-out single. He stands at first base. And this is popped up, and there is Parra coming on, and he'll make the catch. So we'll go to the 4th inning. The Rockies won, and the Dodgers won. Middle game of a 3-game set. The Rockies trail in the division by a half game. All right, Jenny, thank you. Matt Holliday is going to lead it off for the Rockies here in the fourth. He grounded to third his first time. Rockies do not have a hit yet. They do have a run. Holliday owns a home run against Kershaw. And now he's got a 2-0 count. Always favorable.
Especially with somebody like Matt.
Rockies are still 7-4 in their last 11 ball games here in LA. Two and one. And Matt had a pitch to hit there, center cut, 2-2. And that's one of those guys you draw strength from, you draw confidence from. If you're a young player or if you're an inexperienced player playing in a game of this magnitude, a series of this magnitude. Back up the middle, cut off there, and then a soft throw, but in time by Dozier.
Always just get rid of it throw from Dozier. Just knew if he got it over there, it didn't have to be a strong throw, but just get it out of the glove throw. Because this is like you're skipping rocks across the lake by the time this one's done. You count the bounces, 1, 2 bounces, and then a snag by David Freese.
That'll bring up Desmond, who struck out swinging his first time. And he takes strike one. And a base hit to left, so that's the first knock for the Rockies. Ian Desmond producing it. And that'll bring up Gerardo Parra. Well, Ian Desmond has a lot of big league experience. He has postseason experience as well. A comparison of the two rosters in terms of playoff experience, big game experience, if you will. 555 games, a huge number for LA. With the addition of Matt Holliday, almost half of the 168 games that the Rockies have come because of Holliday's presence. Of course, with the Rockies in 07 and then many postseason years with the Cardinals. How important, first in your minds, then we'll get the thought from Bud Black in a moment, but to you guys, how important when you're playing, again, a series with so much on the line is that experience?
Well, I'll go first because I never had that opportunity to play in the postseason, but I know what it was like going into the end of September and how nerve-wracking it was. So I got to imagine then once you do it once, it's just like any job. You become more accustomed and it feels better. And you know what the pressure's like.
Desmond takes off and a hesitation, another stolen base. Barnes again had trouble getting the ball out of his glove. So the Rockies with their speed guys are saying, you know what, we have to put pressure, even though typically it's hard to run on Kershaw. We got to put pressure on him.
Well, that's 2 times that I've noticed that the Rockies are seeing something in Kershaw's delivery towards home plate, because they're going the second he's moving, and that's exactly how you're supposed to with a slide step like Clayton has. And if you look at Austin Barnes caught stealing for the season, he has not ever been a great catch and throw, so they're going to take advantage of that.
One for Desi too. Welcome to the 2020 club. That was his 20th stolen base to go along with his 20 home runs.
Well, he's a charter member. That's 5th time he's produced a 2020 season. Spilly, really quickly, your thought on experience. You had big game experience in September and obviously a big game experience in October.
You know, I think the bigger experience factor is down this stretch, is keeping yourselves and your nerves calm as you're trying to win a division or get that wild card spot. Once you're in the playoffs, it's a bit of a crapshoot.
But does it favor the Dodgers because they have so many guys that have played 5 straight division championships?
Yes, of course. It favors the Dodgers because they've won the division for 5 straight years. Yes. And I think it's that experience of knowing how to close the deal and play down this last 2 weeks that's so impressive and so important.
0-2 on Parra again. Good eye. Tell you what, I think Parra, and obviously Desmond's hit right there, the 2 hardest hit balls against Kershaw so far.
He lined out to deep left to Taylor right at the warning track his first time.
Gerardo's been in a good place, even though he's not getting regular at bats. And this is pulled to second. 2 outs. Desmond to third, and that'll bring up Iannetta. Well, here's what Buddy thought about the experience question.
I think experience is a great teacher, and they have obviously a ton of guys who've been through it, and we have a handful. So whether that gives them an advantage, I don't know, but it helps that player who's been through it.
Buddy would go on as Chris steps in. Ball 1. Buddy would go on, though, to mention a couple instances, and there are many, where young guys came up and handled the pressure beautifully and contributed to world championship teams. He mentioned K-Rod with the 0-2 Angels.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he came from Double-A.
I think
Andrew Jones, when he came up in the mid-90s with Atlanta.
I think he's just an individual that, depending on how they handle it. I mean, you can't put a blanket statement saying, oh, because you've got more young guys that haven't been there, that they're not going to handle it as well.
2-0 on Iannetta. Desmond at third. 3-0. Hampson's on deck. Well, here's something else. Even though these guys are the best guys in the world at what they do, and you guys used to be part of that fraternity, there's still different makeup even among the elite. The DNA is not the same. That's a strike. Andrew Jones, famously as a 19-year-old, hit 2 bombs in Game 1 of the '96 World Series, and then somebody gave him a grape soda. Here you go, kid. The adult bus already left. You got to get on the children's bus.
Sure, they helped him.
3-2. The first 2 innings went quickly for Kershaw.
He had 16 pitches, 8 pitches in the first, 8 pitches in the second.
But now he's up to 60. Again, it's not an alarming number. The Rockies have made him work the last 2. See if Iannetta can come through here on a 3-2. Ball 4.
Well, here's that at bat that you want to see. Garrett Hampson, calm, cool, collected. And it really comes down to, as we're talking about the playoff scenario and the type of players you need on a roster to succeed in these type of scenarios. You need quiet confidence with a sense of urgency. You need that. That's what allows these players to understand. It's take every single pitch with the best focus that I have and then maintain your confidence.
So an opportunity here for Garrett Hampson. First and third, 2 outs, tied at 1. And Hampson takes a strike. Kershaw's walked 3 in this game. Fellas, he's walked 4 in his last 7 starts.
He did have one 6-walk game earlier this year against Miami.
That's an aberration.
Good job of laying off that one. Remember, that was just a couple starts before he went on the DL, so maybe he was already fighting the health issues.
I was asked today, some people who are not real familiar with Garrett Hampson, what kind of player he is. He's a speed guy, but he's got a little juice in his bat, too. clear based on the first time around with Garrett, and this time around, they want to work him on the inner half. They're trying to tie him up.
It doesn't matter if it's a fastball, a slider. Just look what they did on the Subaru strike zone, where all three of those pitches are.
Desmond at third, Ionette at first. 1-2. Guts of a burglar, he took it. 2-2.
Ooh, that might have been a little bit of a gift from Bill Welke.
It's been a bit of a tight zone for Bill Welke. When you see 6 walks in a major league game through 4 innings, and it goes for Kyle. I'm fine with a fair zone. It is small.
Seen a lot of smallish zones lately. 2-2. That's it.
Crowd got all excited. They didn't realize it was a foul tip.
"11 big league seasons for Clayton Kershaw."
314 starts under his belt.
Two and two. And a ground ball to third. Turner will throw to second to end the threat. Rockies will leave 2 on in the fourth. 1-1 as we go to the bottom half of the fourth. T-Mobile. One National League Cy Young race. Jacob deGrom has had a phenomenal year. 178 ERA. Aaron Nola, Max Scherzer, the most frequently mentioned. Kyle Freeland ought to be somewhere in the discussion.
I agree. There's going to be some other guys. Mike Foltynewicz, his name will be bannered around. Josh Hader in Milwaukee, but
well, his record and his numbers play out, Huey, because of where he pitches.
Well,
right?
that's what I'm saying. At Coors Field, he's 9-2 with the .236.
It's just interesting also that, you know, Cy Young's used to be, you know, low ERAs associated with a high win total. And I don't think that's going to be the case, at least in the next several years, the way the game is played now. Matt Kemp will lead it off. RBI single in the first on a line drive to right. Ball 1.
Well, I mean, you might get Jacob deGrom to win the Cy Young and not win 10 ball games.
Not his fault. He does his part. Obviously, the Mets have struggled to score runs, whether he's out there or anybody else. But Doug handed me a note last night that was startling. I guess it speaks to how the East has struggled. Philly's fallen apart. Washington's had a very poor year. The Mets, since around early July, have the best record in the East. Isn't that something?
It is. I wouldn't have thought that at all.
1-2. Just missed 2-2.
But
I have an idea for him, though.
But no, what I was going to say is those top 4 guys, you know, Kyle being 5th in the ERA, all 4 of those guys from the NL East. You got a theory on the Mets?
Yeah, I'm going to give him some advice. This is popped up to shallow center and laid out, and making the catch is Parra. What a play by Gerardo out of nowhere.
Number 6.
Oh, he's impacted this game twice so far. That throw to get Matt Kemp in the first, and now this diving catch in right field, just getting that ball right before it hits the ground. It's really the hard thing with that too, is you got to make sure you dive at exactly the right time, and he did on the Subaru Supermo.
It's off the end of the bat. It's in between 3 fielders, essentially, because you have DJ, Charlie, and Gerardo, and you really have to trust your instinct. You have to trust, as you're making that diving play, that number 1, you're not going to crash into a teammate, and number 2, that the person is backing you up.
Boy, what a play. 0-1 on Dozier.
The other thing too is one of those areas that nobody can call for the baseball.
Nope.
DJ's going back thinking I might have a chance at it. Gerardo's thinking I might have a chance at it, but neither guy really knows for sure. I mean, this is just spectacular. I mean, one, the catch is great. You get a knuckle from Charlie Blackmon. We saw Kyle Freeland with his arms up, but instead of having the leadoff runner on, there's one out.
Parra catches this, and we really have a story. 2-2. So the advice to the Mets very quickly.
Yes, yeah.
When DeGrom pitches, they should put Steven Matz in the lineup. And you're looking at me saying, what is Goodman talking about? He's hit a home run in each of his last 2 starts.
Has he really?
Yeah, put him in the lineup.
It's just like the Reds should put Michael Lorenzen in the lineup.
Yeah, seriously, right? 2-2, backdoor sliders outside, 3-2. Dozier began quickly with the Dodgers. First 8 games, he hit .308 with 3 home runs. Since then, in 32 games, he's hit $1.58.
Oh, he's lost some playing time too.
It's been the one spot for LA. It's kind of been a revolving door. They went and got Forsythe. They were flirting heavily with Dozier before they were forced to get Forsythe. You know, Utley obviously has played some games there, chasing his final days as a big leaguer, an extraordinary career. 3-2 again, and he got it. Sinking fastball at 93, kind of turned that over, and that is the first strikeout tonight for Freeland. 2 gone, and that'll bring up the guy who also plays second base, Kike Hernandez.
Well, StatCast AI is powered by AWS, and when Kyle Freeland's not striking guys out, he's not allowing them to hit the ball very hard. 4th lowest exit velocity since 2017 at just 85.4 miles an hour. Kyle Hendricks of the Cub is number 1. You might be asking yourself, where's Clayton Kershaw on that list? Because he's usually got a pretty low exit velocity. Well, he's 10th on the list at 85.7 miles an hour.
You know, if memory serves me accurately, last year Kyle was on that list in his rookie year.
Yes.
Soft contact. 2-0. You were talking about Cy Youngs, and you just saw Clayton Kershaw. 12 of the last 19 Cy Young Award winners have emanated from the National League West. I have a theory on that also. 2-0. A lot of good pitchers, as we know, in the National League West. That's
number
theory
one.
number 1.
Okay.
And number 2 is let's face it, there's an advantage to pitching at Dodger Stadium and AT&T Park in San Francisco. And we've seen Cy Young winners on a fairly regular basis come out of there. Just like there have been a lot of guys who've won batting titles from the Rockies.
That's why, to me, now Kyle Freeland should be in the conversation.
I'm with you, partner.
And he's starting to be. There's a lot more people that are paying attention to Kyle. It's a nationally watched game.
2-2 line drive at DJ. He makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 fourth. And you're doing your part on MLB radio, I know, Spilly.
Double standard. Give Kyle the credit he deserves. He's one of the best.
Is one of those top 2 players that I played with that could do anything on the baseball field that he wanted to and make it look easy. And folks, he should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying that's because it's my buddy.
You know, hopefully the 34% in the next couple of years will rise significantly. You need 75%. First pitch is in there, strike one on Freeland. 1-1. Some of the names that received more votes but fell short than Larry a year ago include Mike Messina. Show you the list here in a moment. 1 and 2. The Rocket, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Kurt Schilling, Omar Vizquel. And of course, there's a few names on there that are polarizing figures. Strike 3. When it came to sheer talent, there's no question Larry Walker, an elite Hall of Fame talent. I think what hurts Larry is not even the Coors Field bias, if you will. It's, you know, number of games played. He had some years he was hurt, some years he was unable to finish. And
you can also take some of the numbers away from Coors Field and just where he played elsewhere. I mean, Montreal's not an easy place to hit as far as home runs. Pretty deep.
And you look at Larry's road numbers. Larry's road numbers were impressive also.
I have heard the argument against Larry being the amount of games played. That is a legitimate knock against his career.
1-0. This ball's hit well to right center field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Deep into the night. And the Rockies have a 2-1 lead.
I mean, that was a no-doubter, Spilly. Holy cow, that thing went about 10 or 12 rows up in right center field.
That was demolished.
Looked like Larry Walker for a second.
That came off the bat at 108 miles an hour. His 27th home run this season. That baseball traveled 447 feet. I mean, he collected it all right there on the Subaru Supermo. All right, Clayton doesn't even want to look. Just give me another baseball. The 16th home run that Clayton's given up, just the 6th to a left-handed batter.
That was loud and proud.
That's also the 15th home run for Charlie that he's hit out on the road.
Second time he's taken Kershaw deep in his career. And now DJ's got a favorable count. Down the right field line, and that is just foul. That's an interesting spot at Dodger Stadium. It's a symmetrical yard, and it creeps into a very inviting 330 feet with a low fence, and we've seen some balls kind of sneak in to those areas both in right and left field, and that was hunting the foul pole.
If we're playing in Boston, that's a home run.
Yeah, it's on the right side of the pesky pole. This is bounced to third, retreating is Turner, and he gets helped at first by Freeze. 2 outs. Well, the Rockies' big three taking on Clayton Kershaw today. Brought to you by AARP. And this is what they've done coming into tonight since 2016. So basically 3 years. Blackman's hit 400 against him. Add a home run now, 2 of them. DJ's hit over 400, or right at 400. And Nolan with a couple home runs and a robust 364 average coming in. Nolan has twice hit the ball on the ground to Turner. And this is in the air to center field. I don't think he got it, though. Rockies take the lead on the long home run by center fielder Charlie Blackmon. It's 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning at Dodger Stadium on a Tuesday night. Kind of a large game. By Subaru, love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. By Bonfees, it takes all types to save lives. Give blood. And by Dish Network, better TV for all. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. courtesy of a long home run to deep right center by Charlie Blackmon. The Rockies have a 2-1 lead. Austin Barnes batting 8th. First pitch missed, ball 1. Second pitch in there, strike 1. Kyle Freeland. Doing his thing. He competes his butt off.
Right there, strike.
Wow.
Nope.
That's what we've talked about all night. Both ways.
And
it
this
is a small zone.
And I think this is smart from Chris. Okay, I can guarantee you right now he's saying, listen, that was a strike. I get it. I understand you should be ahead in the count 1-2. Is at the bottom of the Subaru strike zone, but don't let that affect you.
Well, it also gives Bud Black and the coaching staff over here an opportunity to say something while the catcher and pitcher are talking.
Now, we've said it before too. Yeah, it's hard from their angle to tell, you know, east-west, but they can definitely tell north-south, top to bottom. And I don't know what Austin Barnes is looking at. He should be walking back to the dugout.
I mean, Austin Barnes, a catcher too. You don't want that pitch called for Kershaw? Are you kidding me? 2-2. And that's, you know, that's a pitch that, you know, just outside, but it's not being called a strike tonight.
And
either way.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't been either way.
And a walk. That's 4 walks allowed by Freeland, and Kershaw's allowed 3.
That's the 6th time this year that Kyle has allowed 4 walks in a game. That is his season high.
Well, Tommy Lasorda and Dick Manfred chatting away. That's right in front of the plate. Chance for 2. Oh, wow. Iannetta had an easy double play.
I mean, that couldn't have been laid out there any easier for Chris, and he just dropped it. This traveled 6 inches in front of the plate. He picks it up and then bobbles it, drops it. Only able to get the 1 out. Another look on the Subaru Supermo. Comes up, pops it, gets it, and then when he popped it into his glove, popped out of his hand.
Well, it's the little things. Spilly, yesterday you said in this series, the Rockies and Dodgers, I'm sure, feel the same way, have to play clean baseball. Dodgers didn't have a clean inning on allowing the Rockies to score their first run. And though there will be nothing on the scorecard to indicate that the Rockies did anything wrong defensively so far in this inning, you know, everybody knows that it's probably 2 outs and nobody on. At the very least, you have the out at second base.
Well, and clean baseball is not just errors. It's walks, it's missed cutoff men, it's not taking an extra base.
All of the above.
It's all the above.
0-1 on Taylor.
He
went
went
around. 0-2. The troubling thing now is that you're going to, you know, unless something strange happens, you're going to have to face Turner with a runner in scoring position.
But the guy in their lineup that you fear.
This is slowly hit. This could be a tough play for Nolan. No play. And Nolan trying to make a play is going to cost the Rockies a run. And the Dodgers have tied up the ball game. Sloppy inning now defensively by Colorado has cost them. Nolan did the right thing. He ate the baseball. And then he wheeled around, which was the right thing. See if there was a, you know, a big turn by Barnes. There really wasn't, though.
No, and he just assumed that there was going to be somebody there, but the problem was
the umpire.
Garrett Hampson runs into the umpire. Watch, the umpire gets in the way.
Oh,
Not
man.
allowing Garrett to get there.
What is he doing right on the bag?
He shouldn't be on the bag. He should not be right there.
What is Lance
I've never
Barrett
seen
doing
that.
close to the bag?
So that didn't allow Garrett to get there and stop that throw.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's not gonna have a play on.
No, but he'll keep
Barnes is all on the bag, but the ball's going to be secured. I've never seen an umpire run right to the bag. You don't call it right on top of the bag.
I actually have no idea if that's an interference call on the umpire. Is that a judgment call? It's nothing, right?
Yeah, they're part of the field of play.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't understand what he's doing right there. It was almost like he was playing basketball and trying to box out a guy to keep him from getting a rebound.
Never have seen that before. One strike on Turner. Line drive foul.
Security guard down the line.
It's a nice play.
It was a great play. He hopped over that wall with his chair. Here he is. He takes it. Pretty slick move.
He was like Frogger. Remember that game?
Yeah.
2 strikes on Turner. You could make a pretty significant argument. Has been the best hitter in baseball in the second half this year.
What a strange inning.
Well, it first started with the drop and not getting that lead runner at minimum.
Which has turned out to be huge. Base hit for Turner.
I mean, he is so locked in right now.
Been locked in for a long time. Turner's OPS in the second half is 1170 this year.
He's reached in 40 of his last 43 games. Nosar, I think, is pretty under control, too. You know, he won't try to overpower or muscle a baseball. He just kind of takes what the pitcher gives him.
Machado's 2 for 2, a double and a single. One out, a run in, we're tied at 2. Parra, easy play. That'll bring up David Freese.
Hey, if you've ever dreamed of becoming a Colorado Rocky, you can do that. Sign up for Fantasy Camp now, taking place at Salt River Fields in Talking Stick, January 28th through February 1st. Visit Rockies.com/fantasycamp for more details.
Well, big games. A lot of Hollywood comes out. Rob Lowe. Maybe he's still here from the Emmys last night. Freese 0 for 1 and a walk. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Four for 14 lifetime against Kyle Freeland. 2 runs, 2 hits, an error for the Rockies. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors on the Dodgers. Taylor at second, run as well. Turner at first.
Strike. Nope. He's been tight with that strike zone.
One and two.
He overlapped his first and third pitch on that Subaru strike zone. But both of them in the same spot.
Well, Kyle's been pounding the zone throughout the evening, and there's been several borderline pitches that have not gone his way. In fact, I'd make the argument every single borderline pitch has not gone his way.
One more pitch here, and you get a chance to get out of this.
Backdoor breaking balls,
Bad
one of his
inning.
favorites. He went there, but was clearly beneath the strike zone. It's 3-2. So now you're going to get movement. Excuse me, 2-2. Let me correct that. It was a 1-2 pitch.
But still, here's the pitch you want to do it on. You don't want to get to 3-2.
You don't want to get to 3-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Kyle Freeland will walk off. The Dodgers get a run. The Rockies untidy defensively. It's 2-2 going to the sixth. Hamburger day. What's your favorite condiment? Ketchup, mustard, pickles, onions. Of those four, I like a little ketchup and a little mustard, but you know, pickles are a must.
That's what I'm saying. I can't
Grilled
just
onions
pick
are
one.
nice
no,
too.
I'm out on the onions.
Are you?
You can have my onions. I'll take the ketchup, mustard, pickles.
You can keep your onions. I'm good.
I'll take the grilled onions.
Okay, there you go, Spilly. You can have it.
Matt Holliday, and he bounces this one foul.
Well, you and I were
Falls
talking,
over.
you know, between the commercial break there and for. Wait a second, is Matty hurt?
He's not moving well.
He fouled that off his foot.
I think he got his toe. It not. Yeah, he's still rubbing at it. I think it might have clipped the shin above his guard, his shin guard.
Oh no, it's right off the toe. It just takes a little bit to see if that throbbing pain will go away. But anyway, what I was going to say is, Spilly, Drew and I were talking up here in commercial break about the job Kyle Freeland did to get out of that inning, just giving up the 1 run after, you know, the umpire got involved and boxed out Garrett Hampson.
He's like Dennis Rodman. And you're right. I mean, you have 45,000 people on their feet. You have the stereo system as loud as it could possibly go. Nothing going in your favor, and he found a way out of it.
Holiday lines it at the second baseman Dozier, 1 out. That'll bring up Desmond. He got the Rockies' first hit with 1 out in the 4th. He'd steal second, move to third. He was unable to travel any further. The Rockies have a pair of 20-20 guys with the stolen base tonight by Desi. 20 homers, 20 stolen bases. Of course, Trevor Story has been in that group for a while. A chance at the 30-30 club. The only other time the Rockies had 2 20-20 guys back in 1996. Ellis Burks, Dante Bichette. Two and 1.
Just again, though, that's how close it was to the Subaru strike zone, but that has been not a strike all night. That was the 3rd pitch from Kershaw.
3 and 1. Well, you say this about the veteran crew chief, Bill Welke. It has been, and we've pointed this out, it's been the same both ways. It hasn't been, well, you know, there's a Hall of Famer out there. He's going to get 2 inches on either side of the
sometimes you
plate.
get.
3-1 with par on deck. Ball 4, and that's another one. And Kershaw's looking in. He's walked 4, and now he's going to chew on Bill Welke a little bit. Well, Kyle Freeland feels your pain. A 1-out walk. Let's see if Desmond keeps the heat on Kershaw. The Rockies have 2 stolen bases tonight against a guy who had allowed only 1 all year.
And we'll see if he throws over to first base.
Broken bat pop-up, and it'll be an easy play for Machado.
Yeah, you want to be at Coors Field when the Philadelphia Phillies come to town to take on the Rockies next Monday through Thursday. You can get your tickets at Rockies.com. 3 night games, and then the Thursday's a day game.
Well, one of the things that Chris Iannetta brings to the ballpark every day when he's in the starting lineup, we've talked about Chris having a great feel for the strike zone, so he walks a fair amount. Never been a high average hitter, but Chris has big time power, so he has the ability. Desmond gets picked off. That'll be a caught stealing. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. The Rockies and Dodgers tied at 2. While we were away from Los Angeles, they reviewed that play at second. It was closer than we thought, but New York had the call stand up.
Well, gets him right on the shoulder before the fingers touch the bag. I think this was a crew chief review. Real close on the Subaru Supermo. And he puts the tag right down. The only option Desi has is try to go out and around it, but the tag's applied before the fingers hit the bag, and Bill Wilkie with the call.
And I think you're right. It was a crew chief review, and I appreciate that. I think you guys do too, understanding these umpires get what's at stake here. They understand what's on the line. This is potential division type game right here to win a division.
That's why we were happy yesterday to report that this crew is a veteran crew. You know, in San Francisco, from the Rockies' perspective, big game. A couple of real young umpires, and the same thing surprisingly for the Arizona series. Because the Rockies matched up that 4-game set with Arizona. I know Arizona's getting beat up badly tonight. They've kind of fallen back, but that was a huge series. And you had a call-up umpire. I'm not saying that young man's not a terrific umpire, but you want guys that will say, hold on a second, let's take another look at this. And I don't know if that would happen necessarily.
No. I
with another
agree.
group. Here's Matt Kemp. Important inning here. The Dodgers got a little momentum back with that run they scratched out last inning to even things up after the Blackman home run made it 2-1, Colorado.
Also
Freeland's due up third next inning.
The third time through the lineup. He's at 86 pitches. But it's a cool night. I think this is one Bud's just going to go by feel. Because here's the deal. You know, I know you got O back in. You got Ober. Well, what would they do? They would go full line change and go all the lefties. The Jock Petersons, the Max Muncies, the Cody Bellingers.
Swung on and missed. High heat, and Kemp is gone. Third strikeout for Freeland.
Second baseman Ryan Dozier.
All three of these strikeouts on fastballs.
I want to show you what Kyle just did. He slowed down his second little hiccup that he has in his delivery. So it's a fastball. He blows it by Matt Kemp, but pay attention to the delivery for a second because he took a little extra time just to throw off Matt Kemp's timing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. There's that little extra pause and then come right after him with 94.
Now he dropped a breaking ball in there for a strike on Dozier. He's got Dozier twice, fly ball to center, and a punch out.
Such a feel for pitching.
Good stuff and a feel for pitching. And great toughness. On the ground to short. Hampson's got it. And a perfect throw, 2 outs. Two outs, and TK Hernandez coming up. A walk and a line drive to second. The Rockies began the day a half game out in the wild card chase. Milwaukee and St. Louis ahead of them right now. And the Cubs are the team that's way ahead of Arizona tonight, 9-1. That's a good pitch.
Shave the outside corner on that Subaru strike zone.
And the Cards already won tonight, 8-1. That's why the Rockies currently are a full game back. Right field. Fairly deep, but playable. Parra's out there. Parra's had a busy night. He's handled everything, and then some. 1, 2, 3, 6. Beautiful inning for Freeland. We're tied going to the 7th.
That's what I'd like to see next.
Right now, what I'd like to see is a big Rockies rally. Chris Iannetta will lead it off in the 7th. Garrett Hampson behind him, then we'll see. And this is in the air to right center. Kemp will handle it, 1 out.
Shortstop, Garrett Hampson.
This is where you might see the push bunt. See if you can get in the foot race with Clayton to first.
Well, he takes a strike. 1 strike now on Hampson. He walked and scored in the 3rd. Hit a ground ball to 3rd in the 4th inning. And this is in the air to shallow right. It's going to drop, a base hit. So Hampson's been on twice. Freeland will come up in a bunting situation.
Well, you want to take a behind-the-scenes tour of Coors Field. Group and individual tickets are available year-round. Call 303-ROCKIES or go to Rockies.com/tours. Kyle had the opportunity his first time up to get down a bunt. He was not successful. This is where you gotta set your angle early. So for lefty, setting the angle, you want to go towards first base. Put the barrel of the bat kind of right down that third base line.
Good bunt. Kershaw with an accurate throw. So the Rockies will have Blackmon and an opportunity with a base hit to put Colorado in front again. In his last at bat, he did exactly that. Time for the big hit, brought to you by Mako. This ball was absolutely crushed. 27th home run this year for Charlie.
It's the second longest in the stadium this year. George Springer's hit one further. He hit one 452 feet.
Charlie also a fly ball to left and a walk.
Let's go back and look at some of the numbers on the home run for Charlie on our Subaru StatCast. 108 miles an hour off the bat. Distance 447 feet. The launch angle 25 degrees. So he saw that his previous long this year was 442 feet.
(2-0), just like you'd like it. With the home run tonight, the average over 300 against Kershaw. He hits lefties as well as any lefty in the game, does Charlie Blackmon.
That's why Clayton might be pretty cautious with him here.
Well, that's another pitch that's in the Subaru strike zone. That is not called a strike. It's been a small zone, not usually, you know, when it's small one way, like at the top of the zone. Well, tonight it's been north, south, east, and west.
It's got to be completely in that Subaru strike zone.
And he kind of pitched around once he got behind. 3-0, pitched around Blackmon. So DJ will come up first and second.
Number 9, DJ LeMahieu.
These are how these tight games this time of year ultimately are won. Somebody's going to come through with that clutch hit. And boy, the guy at the plate has produced some clutch hits this year.
And for Dave Roberts, Bud Black, this is nothing new. You kind of expect it coming into this series. Last night was an aberration. Dylan Floro, the right-hander, warming up down in the bullpen for the Dodgers.
DJ tonight 0 for 3. Five walks allowed by Kershaw, 4 by Freeland. Speaks to the tightness of the zone tonight, again, both ways. Strike one on DJ. We said this a bunch throughout DJ's career with the Rockies. Once he became firmly established, said it a bunch lately. This is a guy you want up in these kind of situations. Hard ground ball, diving stop by Turner, and he gets the out at first. Well, Turner made a big miscue early in the game that allowed the Rockies to score. He just took away a Rockies run there. It remains 2 apiece. Look back. DJ LeMahieu bounced one to the left side, and it went under the glove of Turner, and that allowed Hampson to score to tie the game. Then Charlie hit one a mile to right center. 2-1 at that point, and then Taylor chops one in no man's land, and Nolan didn't have a play, and then he flipped it behind him, and Lance Barrett inadvertently got in the way of Garrett Hampson, and Hampson couldn't block the baseball, and it kind of rolled down the third base line. That allowed the tying run to score. And a moment ago, Justin Turner took away a base hit from DJ LeMahieu that would have given the Rockies a lead.
That was flat out robbery.
Austin Barnes leading things off. Then we're going to get a pinch hitter for Kershaw, it looks like.
Max Muncy.
Yeah, Max Muncy's in the on-deck circle. 95 pitches in. It's been another terrific outing for Kyle Freeland. Even more so when you consider the circumstances. Oberg is up for the Rockies in their pen. Pulled to third. Nolan. High throw. Could see it coming a mile away. He got underneath it, and the 5-time Gold Glover just committed his second error of the ball game, and that's huge, man. That's a leadoff out. And we go back to what Spilly talked about. The Rockies not playing clean baseball.
Really dropped the elbow on this, and as soon as he did it, I yelled, uh-oh, because you could just tell as an infielder, when you drop that elbow, you don't get the carry. The ball starts to sail on you.
That's the guy you want it hit to.
And he had all the time in the world. He didn't just get on top of the ball, that's all. Muncy hitting .266 against lefties this year.
Muncy, as you know, has top shelf power. He also is a selective hitter. He will walk. Barnes, pretty decent speed for a catcher at first. He took a home run cut, 0-1.
The lefty's hitting just a mere 170 against Kyle on the season. It's been the slider that's really helped him neutralize left-handed bats.
Another good-looking pitch, 0-2. Both teams have committed 2 errors. The 2 errors for the Dodgers came on the same play.
That was the first 2-error game for Nolan since April or August of 2 years ago, 2016.
I don't really count one of those errors. Tonight, the little back pick towards Garrett Hampson where he was blocked by the umpire.
No, I mean, I totally get what you're saying. It's unfortunate, but it did lead to the run.
Kyle trying to pick him up, and he does. He strikes out Muncy for the first out. And that'll bring up Taylor.
That fastball, 94 miles an hour. He's been able to reach back. He actually had 95 pitches for her. That was actually pitch 100 on the evening for Kyle. Reaching back, 94. There's a hole in Max Muncy's swing, and it's above the belt. That's why location's so important, especially if you have that ability to reach back and get a little extra.
Taylor and then Turner. And again, borderline pitch. It's a ball, 1-0. Taylor is the one who hit that little squibber up the third base line. Look at Oberg, terms which we told you that he's getting loose. Look out. 1-1.
But you hear the term high pitch innings, stressful innings. But this has been a high stress game. And usually when you have those high stress innings, it's runners in second and third. Anytime you have guys in scoring position. But tonight, when you have a tie ball game, every pitch counts. That's a stress.
Just watching and looking at Kyle, you can't tell it from his vantage point.
He'll probably wake up sore tomorrow.
Yes.
You know what, though? As we expected, this kid is bellied up to the bar again. In the biggest game the Rockies have played in 2018. He's going to get an out here, pop up right side. DJ and Desi. And Ian makes the catch. You know, Buddy's going to come out because Turner, he has everybody's number, but he does have Kyle Freeland's number. He came in 11 for 20 against Kyle, and tonight he's 1 for 3. What a performance again by Kyle Freeland. Buddy Black's telling him just that. Talk about a pitching performance of the night. Kyle Freeland, 6 2/3, 5 hits, walked 4, struck out 4, and he kept his vaunted Dodger offense at bay. And he had to pick up some extra outs along the way because the Rockies have had a couple of miscues behind him. Kyle will watch intently as Scott Oberg, who's been terrific, will try to get Justin Turner.
Well, Scott, inning and 2/3 on Sunday, was absolute money. 4 strikeouts. Pinch runner now at first base for Barnes and LeCastro. Whoa, he slipped on the bag. And this is his sole duty this whole month, is just a pinch run.
It's an interesting play from Dave Roberts because he's trying to get Justin Turner more fastballs by putting LeCastro out there.
Turner takes a strike.
Justin 1 for 7 lifetime against Scott. That one was a home run.
And taken off is Castro, and he swipes second. So LeCastro in scoring position.
He got a pretty good jump. He didn't even look back. It's a 69th stolen base by the Dodgers as a club.
One on Turner. Ground ball to short. Well done again by Scott Oberg. So LeCastro left in second. We play on to the 8th inning with the Rockies and Dodgers tied at 2. That one coming. I know the thing that he's most proud of in his career, of all his offensive exploits, the doubles that Jenny just mentioned. Kenta Maeda is going to take over. He's been moved to the bullpen. It's been a dozen opportunities for him out of the bullpen, and he's pitched to an ERA a little bit above 4. Arenado, Holiday, Desmond. 2-2 game in the 8th. Nolan's 0 for 3. Muncy stays in the game at first, and Grandal's behind the plate, swinging strike 1.
Nolan just 2 for 22 lifetime against Maeda.
Two strikes. The Rockies, with a little more than 10 days left in the season, pursuing their first division title. Maeda on 3 pitches strikes out Nolan. And think about this. The Rockies have finished above the Dodgers in the standings, forget winning a division title, 2 times in 25 years. As we said when this series began, trying to change the narrative. Holiday, 2 ground outs and a line out. He was robbed of a hit on a good play by Dozier in the 4th. And the line drive that he hit was right at him in the 6th inning. And that's a strike.
That gave a kind of a questionable look to the home plate umpire after that pitch.
Holiday's only seen Maeda 1 time. And Matt chased a little bit there, 0-2. Again, that's a byproduct of Matt now playing in the Central for so many years. Last year he was in the American League, where a number of the Rockies have a ton of at-bats against him.
If he reaches, you'll see a pinch runner come on from Matt.
6 pitches, 2 strikeouts.
You can support your Rockies and paint the town purple with the latest fall weather gear. You can player merchandise and special gifts with purchase at Rockies dugout stores.
Desmond's been on twice tonight. He had the Rockies' initial hit in the 4th inning. He walked in the 6th. Well, you know, it'd be nice if Desi launch one out of here. He's hit only 2 home runs in the 2nd half. He had 18 in the 1st half.
Well, maybe he gets one of the hanging splitters that Maeda likes to throw that split finger.
Ball 1. First pitch out of the zone he's thrown.
Picking it up.
Nope. The Rockies have faced Maeda, as you guys were mentioning, and it's the split finger and the slider that they're respecting. They're waiting for secondary pitches, and Maeda tonight has thrown more fastballs than we've seen.
Here's my thing, though. If you're looking for the splitter, it's hard to hit anyway.
Hit the
Sometimes,
fastball,
yeah,
right?
so sometimes we overthink it as hitters.
Again, it's a fastball. 1-2. Ottavino's up in the Rockies' pen. Be interesting to see what but he does. Does he stay with Oberg? Or does he go to Ottavino? Well, that was not a good inning for the Rockies. 3 up, 3 strike out. 2-2. Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By UC Health, live extraordinary. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Rockies 2, Dodgers 2, with Ryan Spilborghs, Jeff Hewson, and Taylor McGregor and our entire AT&T Sportsnet crew. I'm Drew Goodman. Scott Oberg continues on. He got Justin Turner to end the 7th. Here's Machado, and he takes a slider for strike 1. So Noel Cuevas has come in. He's in right field. Parra's in left. Holiday's out of the ball game. On the dangerous Manny Machado, and that's a strike. 95 at the knees. Now you're going to start to see all the lefties pinch hitting, even in the middle of the lineup. David Freese hitting cleanup tonight, but he's not going to take another at bat. Machado's gone. Strikeout by Oberg. Instead, it'll be Jock Peterson. He was the hitting star last night.
Oberg comes in, and that's a nasty slider from Machado. Got him out on his front side. Could never reach that.
Jock Peterson, 2 home runs and a double last night. He has 3 home runs in 9 at-bats against Oberg. He's 3 for 9, all 3 long balls. That's a great pitch on the outer edge.
One of the home runs he hit out last night was a fastball that tailed back to the middle portion of the plate, and then he got a neck-high fastball that he hit out to right center field.
He takes a big swing. There's no doubt about that.
Oh,
look out. And that guy's scrambling.
A bit of an ugly finder. He's coming right at me.
You didn't flinch though, did you?
There's a good chance I flinched, and luckily I pushed the talk back button that prevented me from squealing really loud, because that's a noise.
That's what the cough button's for.
Yep.
Got him. Good job by Ionetta to keep the ball in front of him. 2 outs, 2 strikeouts by Scott Oberg. Tonight's attendance is brought to you by Cricket Wireless. The Dodgers lead the National League in attendance. They, along with the Yankees, lead all of baseball in attendance. 49,537 have gathered tonight. The Rockies are 5th in the National League. And in the top 8 in all of baseball in attendance. They're neck and neck with the Angels for 7th. They've outdrawn everybody else in the American League. Rockies averaging well over 37,000 a night. One and one on Kemp. You know, I thought for a moment you may see Bellinger.
Well, he had a bat.
There he is.
He's just sitting on the bat rack.
And headed to the outside corner, and the pitch actually showed up in the middle of the plate. But it's a swinging strike 2, 1-2. An emergency hack there on the slider.
Think back to the base hit that Kemp had in that first inning. Put the Dodgers up 1-0. It was a pitch away from him. Took the emergency hack and was rewarded with it.
Eighth inning, 2 outs. 2-2 ball game.
Like the location of that slider. See if you could get him to wave at it.
You know, and that's where Scott, early this year and in years past, had struggled ahead in the count. Sometimes that slider would show up belt high and get hit really far.
That's part of the reason why he was sent out.
And he's figured it out.
Yeah, he has.
2-2. Kemp, ground ball to short. Hampson's got it. He's done a nice job defensively, and that's a terrific inning by Scott Oberg. Real familiar with saying that. 2-2 going to the 9th. Hampson on the hill, and he has been anything but a sure thing of late.
35 for 39. Even in games that he's not been saving, they threw him in St. Louis the other day up by 4 just to get him some work. He ended up giving up a couple runs in that game.
New outfield, sort of. Peterson stays in, he's in left. Taylor's now in center, Kike's in right. Kemp out of the game. So here's Parra, top of the 9th inning. 0 for 3 tonight.
Just talking to some scouts about Kenley Jansen, part of his problem is he's not been getting that cutter consistently in the strike zone, or near the strike zone like he has in the past. There'll be a couple good ones, and it'll leave him for a pitch or two.
Well, with the smaller strike zone tonight, that could be an advantage for the Rockies. Kenley's always been effectively wild. Great movement with the cutter, but he's not somebody that just pinpoint location on both sides of the plate. It's pretty much a scatter shot.
Well, that was scattered, 2-1. Ottavino up again. Line drive, base hit left field. Gerardo Parra pumping his fist toward the Rockies dugout. Leadoff man aboard.
Pitcher number 22, Chris
He
Iannetta.
wasn't 2 steps out of the box before he was pumping his fist towards the dugout. He's just been so good. There was a little cutter that just stayed on the same plane. It's a good feeling when you hit that ball. You know it's a base hit. Now the fist pump on the Subaru Supermo.
And now Iannetta. Hampson's on deck, and then we'll get a pinch hitter. Rockies trying to build a run here in the top of the 9th. And you talk about what the date is and what the situation is. Chris Iannetta, not very frequently has the 35-year-old in his career been asked to bunt.
Well, but in the 9th inning, a 2-2 game in LA with just a few games left. You got Ryan McMahon, David Dahl, both licking their chops to be able to get up to the plate against Jansen.
And Chris bunts it foul. Well, have one of those at bats where you fail to get the bunt down, then you hit one in the gap.
And Jansen's not an easy pitcher to bunt against. I know it always sounds, hey, this is fundamental, you should be able to put the bunt down, but you have somebody that's not consistently in the strike zone with late movement, and he throws up in the zone. Those are all check marks against not easy to bunt.
Just 2 sacrifice bunts for Chris since 2012, 9 in his career.
If they took it off, just don't hit it on the ground.
Okay, what Jansen's huge. He's 6'5", 6'6". Muncy is a shorter first baseman. He almost threw that over his head.
That's all right. Go ahead and airmail it.
Parra with a big lead, Spilly. You're right there. He's got half his lead past the cutout.
Most closers don't have great moves to first, so you can extend yourself, and you just said it. Kenley's a big guy, 6'5", Used to be a catcher. Doesn't move as quick as he used to. So you can extend your lead a little bit.
One and two.
That was 1-4-1 to the plate for Kinley.
That's what it has to be, at least for Parra to swipe the bag. I mean, Parra's not a flyer.
You don't want to run yourself out of an inning.
Yeah.
Here's where you hope he just bounces one and you get the free 90.
He's going. And the throw.
He's safe.
Underneath the tag. Parra swipes second.
Still fist pumping, still clapping.
It's 11 stolen bases for Gerardo. We head down the whole way, the head first dive. Yeah, he's safe. He always stayed on the bag, too. Cleaner look on the Subaru Supermo, definitely safe. They're not even going to look at that one again, no need to. He just gets me fired up.
I love how he plays the game. Now this at bat changes for Iannetta. Trying to get even with 2 strikes, Parra somehow to third.
Iannetta tried, manipulated his barrel so he could try to hit the ball on the right side of the field.
Only place, if he hits it on the ground, the toughest play for a base runner at second base is if somehow he hit it right back to the pitcher, because you're so geared to, if that ball's to the right side behind me, I'm going. Got to see it by the pitcher.
Again at 2-2. 1 out. Garrett Hampson is being called back. And the Rockies will have David Dahl pinch hit.
It was a good night for Garrett Hampson. 1
Real
for
good
2, had a stolen base, a walk, a run scored. Made all the plays in the field.
And the Rockies love this matchup between Kenley Jansen and David Dahl. David Dahl has hit Kenley deep. Took him deep here at Dodger Stadium. A fastball up in the zone, a cutter up in the zone.
You know, it's interesting. He still may have pinch hit if Chris was able to move Parra to third, but it would have been an interesting decision for Buddy because of the bunting ability of Hampson with the runner on third. It may have made Buddy pause a little bit more before making the move. That's one of the beautiful things about the strategy of managing a game late, especially a game of the importance of this one. So David Dahl trying to put the Rockies ahead in the top of the 9th.
There's the home run cut on the ball up and in.
That was a Jock Peterson type swing.
And the Rockies are trying to get off the schneid as far as a hit with runners in scoring position tonight. 0 for 6.
Well, on the road trip, it's been abysmal.
And it is so smart for a pinch hitter to take your most aggressive swing as early as possible, because it gets your timing right and it really loosens up your body. There's no way to get yourself ready, even underneath with the batting cages that are available, the tees, the nets. Go ahead and take your massive swing and then be ready for the next other pitches.
Oh, 1. Infield pop up. And it'll come down to Ryan McMahon with 2 outs. Who wants tacos? Fans, follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 runs in a game.
Hitter number 24, Ryan McMahon.
Cut's going to talk. It's interesting here because both Dahl and McMahon come off the bench. I think it's a scouting report conversation, but they didn't have one on Dahl. Well, the other interesting thing, you know, you make certain decisions based on matchups, and you also base it on how guys are swinging the bat. And unfortunately, right now for the Rockies, Carlos Gonzalez has not been swinging the bat well. And so instead of going with, you know, the veteran, they've gone Dahl and they've gone McMahon. But who knows? This card may still get played tonight at some point.
It's still a dangerous weapon to be able to have.
Yep.
But it would have also forced Dave Roberts' hand a little bit if you put him up here. Then do you put him on then to set up the force? Because the tying run's already at second, but then you got to pitch to Charlie. I mean, there are a lot of different options for the opposing manager.
Inside, good take. That's that inviting cutter, Spilly, that you think it's a strike until it finishes its path, and then you realize, man, it's 6 inches off the plate.
And that's what late life is. Whenever you hear somebody talk about late life, that's exactly what Kenley throws.
Down the line, and Muncie's got it. Parra left at second base. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Still tied at 2. Day and updated. The Dodgers leading the Rockies by a half a game. Arizona's fallen 5.5 back off the pace. Adam Ottavino in the 9th inning will face Cody Bellinger, who's going to pinch hit for Brian Dozier. We're tied at 2.
Adam talked about it after the game the other day. Just needs to be a little bit more aggressive coming out of that bullpen to the first batter. You know, Bellinger's going to be aggressive with his swings. David Dahl stays in the game in right field. Lakin out short.
First pitch strike, and that's good to see. Adam upset with himself over his last 2 outings. They were very similar. He walked the leadoff man, and then Adam slowed to the plate. He gave up a stolen base each time and ultimately a run. And he felt like he wasn't as aggressive as he needed to be out of the gate. So it was good to see him throw strike one. He misses there. 1-1.
And it's not just being aggressive, you know, by throwing a hard fastball. It's being aggressive by getting that first pitch over. And for Adam, a lot of times it's that slider that feels comfortable out of the hand.
1-1 on the dangerous Bellinger. That's a great fastball. You talk about movement. That thing tailed back 8-10 inches.
That's why it froze Bellinger. He started a bail thinking it was coming inside, and it wasn't even close.
On the ground, fair. Desmond to Ottavino. 1 out.
Well, you can still follow the race in the postseason on MLB.tv for $25.99. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this limited time offer.
Well, it's going to be Chase Utley pinch hitting for Kike Hernandez. And this gets the Dodger faithful excited. Long Beach Poly, UCLA, by way of Philadelphia. 1 out. Utley to hit for Hernandez.
There are the numbers for Chase pinch hitting this year. 0 for 5, though, against Adam in the matchups prior to this one.
Ball 1.
Well, Utley will not move if there's any back foot slider or hip shot fastball. He will get hit by a pitch. You'll see guys often shuffle their feet on a slider down and in, not Chase.
And of course he does hit there.
That went right between his legs.
He wasn't trying to avoid this.
No, he was going to wear it.
Maybe not. 2-0. That's foul.
Everybody
Scott Alexander on the left side.
Second time for Floro being up tonight.
Ottavino trying to push this to extra innings. 2-2.
I like that last slider because it took a little bit off of it, 84 miles an hour. And that's the beauty of Ottavino's slider. There's about 3 of them. Throw a hard slider down and in with a little more velocity, can get it up to 88 miles an hour.
Grandal's on deck.
Is there anybody in baseball that waits longer to actually get his bat up into a hitting position than Chase Utley? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing against the rules, but it's just like he's just out there, ho-hum.
It's part of his timing mechanism.
Remember Jim Tomei used to kind of point the bat at the pitcher and wait.
Anything to relax here. 3-2. Got him. Big strikeout there. 2 outs. And you're not out of the woods yet.
Catcher number 9,
Grandal coming up. He's got a lot of pop.
And it's 5 for 12 against Adam, but the first things first, it's a heavy dose of sliders. Chase Utley got the slider on the second strike, and now the swinging strike. Not even close on the Subaru Supermo.
Rockies will have the top of the order. They can get one more out here. That is called a strike. I thought for a moment that Bill Welke wasn't going to call that pitch. It's 0-1 on Grandal. First at bat for Yasmani. See the alignment defensively. 3 on the right side. That's a pretty good looking pitch also. Wow.
The scariest part about this Dodgers team is that the margin for error when you get in these late games against them, because they can hit home runs. They lead the National League in homers. That as a pitcher, your margin for error has gotten so small. Don't want to miss in the big portion of the plate.
Two and one. They lead the National League in homers, and it's not close. Cardinals and Brewers second. Fairly well behind. Two one. In the air to deep left field. Middle of the track, Parra tucks it away. Will go extra innings at Dodger Stadium. It'll be Charlie Blackmon, DJ LeMahieu, Nolan Arenado. Tied at 2. Again, the Rockies will have the top of the order. And Scott Alexander is in there initially. Bellinger's now in center. Alex Verdugo's come in right. Chris Taylor is on to his third position tonight, second base.
A lot of
That's how
parents
deep
are.
the Dodgers are with their roster right now. They haven't even played Puig yet.
That's what I was getting ready to say. A lot of the Dodger parents are happy because all their kids are getting to play.
Yeah, everybody gets to play.
How about all three pinch hitters are all all-stars?
Yeah. I think this is the only batter that Scott Alexander's going to face. You know, with Charlie, they got Dylan Floro still up in their bullpen. They'll flip it right out after this.
Charlie could care less if he's facing a lefty. Tonight, he had a homer in the fifth inning to give the Rockies a temporary 2-1 lead. He's walked twice, 1 for 2. Outside.
You know he's going to eyeball him too. Just, you know, he doesn't throw him one close enough to take a pass at. He'll take his free base.
Well, if you're doing your homework, and I guarantee everybody is, they know that it's a small zone tonight. 1-0. 1 out. You keep waiting, and we've said it at different portions of this year. Just keep waiting for the Rockies to get rolling offensively. And this is game 5 of this road trip, and it just has not happened yet. On. It's a 2-2 game, and DJ LeMahieu is going to face Dylan Floro. Floro with a sub-1 ERA at Dodger Stadium this year and a sub-200 batting average against righties.
Remember, he had that 3-walk game, though, in Colorado when they were trying to close with them one time, and that's when the Rockies walked off the Dodgers.
DJ's faced him 6 times. He has 1 hit against him.
Floro's the 20th player the Dodgers have used tonight. Rockies have used 15.
Dodgers have 15 in their bullpen. I'm not exaggerating.
No, I know. I got a cramp in my hand from writing all the names in my book.
And they have 11 bench players.
What's up,
Billy, okay?
You okay?
Yeah, I get
bud?
it, but I get a baseball. Hang out. Yeah! Got it.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Yeah, made a play.
Still rocking the eye black, too.
I'll introduce
Got
you to DJ later. He can sign that for you.
That'd be awesome.
One, two. Two gone. That'll bring up Nolan. Rockies have been limited to 4 hits tonight. 3 singles and the home run by Blackman in the 5th. Last night they had just 6 hits. Nolan trying to rewrite the script here in extra innings. Been a tough night for him. He's 0 for 4 at the plate, and he's made 2 errors out in the field.
He's faced Floro 3 other times as 1 hit.
Oh, 2. Verdugo, Taylor, and Turner in the bottom of the 10th for LA. Let's say Verdugo, actually Muncy, Taylor, Turner, outside.
There's been so many changes. You gotta triple check where players are.
Rockies go in order in the 10th. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th. It's Colorado 2 and Los Angeles 2. So here we go, bottom of the 10th inning. Adam Ottavino at a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Will stay out there. Max Muncy, Taylor, and Turner. August or any other month, probably just go one inning with Ottavino and piecemeal it the rest of the way. 1-0 on Muncie. Reason that you see that is most managers will do all they can. It's kind of in the unwritten managerial handbook. They'll do all they can to win a game in 9. And it's not that they throw their hands up near you, then you just try to win it after. But this game's different. This is a playoff-like game.
And I learned that way back in A-ball with Felipe Lou as my manager. He used to say that all the time. It's just, you know, Huey, we're going to try to win this in 9. Because then after that, then you reshuffle your bullpen. And things are a lot different.
2-0 is in there, 2-1 on Muncie.
Well, and to that point even further, Drew, Adam hasn't thrown more than an inning since July 20th.
You just have to find a way. Three and 1. 2 runs, 5 hits, a pair of errors for Los Angeles. 2 runs, 4 hits, a pair of errors for Colorado. Drive to right, sinking,
yes.
And the catch is made out there by Dahl. That was a tough play, Ryan Spilborgs.
This is as hard of a play as you can ever make in the outfield. Number one, it's a top spin line drive hit right at David Dahl, and you have to trust your instincts. As soon as it's hit off the bat, you have to trust and go. That ball's knuckling and going straight down towards the dirt. That's a fantastic play. If that gets past David Dahl, who knows where Muncie ends up.
109 miles an hour off the bat. Chris Taylor. We said it frequently.
Do or die play out there too, man.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable play. Well, all these guys who come up for the Dodgers, and it's not like the Rockies don't have a powerfully built lineup, but every guy in the Dodger lineup, you think, man, they could hit a mistake a long way. Oh, 1, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. September baseball costing a lot of people back home a lot of sleep. 1-2.
That's what midday naps are for.
An extra cup of coffee. And or both.
Make a pitch here. 2-2. High fly ball deep left field, and it's gone. Taylor has walked off the Rockies. In 10 innings tonight on Chris Taylor's 17th home run, the Dodgers win it 3-2, a hanging slider. And the Dodgers move a game and a half in front of Colorado.
Well, Got ahead with 2 sliders and then just hung this one, and this is the danger of this lineup for the Dodgers. As soon as this hit, Adam knew it. What a heartbreak.
3-2 final. A lot of ways to break this down. The postgame show's about to do it. 3-2, Los Angeles in 10 innings over Colorado. And we go to Jenny and Corey back in Denver.